These people are out of their minds. In order to continue their extreme challenges, they actually plan to rob a bank to fund their next adventure. The police arrived quickly and surrounded the group. With overwhelming firepower, one of the robbers was shot and fell to the ground. The remaining members, seeing no way out, fled on their bikes under the cover of flashbangs. Mike chased them down relentlessly, shooting out one of the tires. The robber got up, turned, and jumped onto a cable car. Mike, not to be outdone, leaped onto the cable car's roof. He broke the window, kicked the robber to the ground, and the two held guns at each other. In the final second, Mike made the decisive move and shot him dead. When he removed the robber's helmet, he was stunned. He had just killed his girlfriend, Amy. Crushed, Mike completely lost his will and blamed everything on David. He swore he would personally bring David down. Back at the station, Mike meticulously analyzed the previous challenges and the map coordinates. It didn't take long for him to figure out the next challenge: free climbing. The first 6 challenges had used gravity to go down, but the 7th challenge, Master of Life, required them to defy gravity and go up. Free climbing was the only option. And the only place that wasn't restricted by the police was Venezuela's Angel Falls, with a drop of 999 meters. By the time Mike arrived, David and his team had already started climbing. Without hesitation, Mike followed them. The cliff was nearly vertical, covered in moss, and any small mistake could be fatal. One of the team members lost his grip, hanging in midair, holding on with only 5 fingers. After several attempts, he smiled at David, said his goodbyes, and chose to jump. Mike and David continued their life-or-death chase up the cliff, each daring move making the audience hold their breath. Eventually, both made it to the top, and just when it seemed like David had nowhere to go, he made a shocking move. He spread his arms and jumped. Mike shouted and followed, but the river below was too strong. Mike managed to reach the shore, but David was nowhere to be seen. It dawned on Mike, David's leap off the waterfall was actually the 8th and final challenge, Ultimate Belief. All 8 challenges had been completed, but something still didn't sit right with Mike. Reflecting on the 4th challenge, Spirit of the Water, David had given up an easy victory to save Mike. With David's stubborn nature, he would never give up easily. 3 months later, the west coast was hit by a rare storm with 30-meter high waves. Mike parachuted onto David's boat and tried to convince him to come back to the police station. Facing those monstrous waves, survival seemed impossible, but David seemed truly insane. He shouted in excitement, as if death were no longer a threat. As a former extreme sports enthusiast, Mike understood. He knew David had made up his mind. Without another word, Mike left. In that moment, David seemed to find his true calling and the meaning of his life. He sailed into the storm, cutting through the towering waves, leaving behind a white arc in the water before being swallowed by the giant waves. This was the path he had chosen, and only he could see it because it was simply too beautiful.